I had only saved a lost child from the rain. I did not know her mother was the most dangerous woman in the city. I did not know that one small hand holding mine would pull me into a house full of secrets. I did not know that the cold woman in black would one day call me her wife. My name is Lily Hart. At that time, my life was not special. I was a teacher in the morning and a cafe worker at night. I worked at a small school, where the paint was old and the chairs made noise. I taught little kids how to read, how to write, and how to count. I loved them. I loved the way their eyes got big when they learned something new. But love did not pay my rent, so after school, I put on a brown apron and worked at a cafe near the train station. I made coffee. I wiped tables. I smiled at people who did not smile back. By the time I got home, my feet hurt so much I sometimes sat on the floor by my door before I could even take off my shoes. I lived alone in a tiny room above an old flower shop. The roof leaked when it rained. The heater made strange sounds. My bed was small. My closet door did not close right. But it was mine. That was what I told myself every night. It is small, but it is mine. It is hard, but I can do it. I had no family in the city. My parents were gone. My aunt lived far away and had her own troubles. I had friends, but they were busy with their own lives. So most nights, after the cafe closed, I walked home alone. That night, the rain came down so hard it looked like the sky had broken. The streetlights were blurry. Cars moved slow through puddles. My old coat was wet all the way through. I held my bag close to my chest and walked fast, trying not to slip. Then I heard a cry. At first, I thought it was a cat. I stopped. The sound came again. It was small. It was scared. I turned toward the road and saw a little girl standing near the curb. She could not have been more than 6 years old. Her dark hair was stuck to her face. Her dress was white, but it was dirty at the bottom. One of her shoes was missing. A black car rushed past her, and she stepped back with a tiny cry. My heart jumped. "Hey!" I shouted. I ran to her. Another car came around the corner too fast. The little girl looked frozen. She did not move. She just stood there with big, wet eyes. I dropped my bag and grabbed her hand. I pulled her back just in time. The car splashed water all over us as it passed. The girl shook in my arms. I held her close. "It's okay. You're safe. You're safe." She did not answer. She only held my coat with both hands, like she was scared I would leave her. I looked around. "Where is your mom? Are you lost?" She stared at me. Her lips were blue from the cold. I took off my scarf and wrapped it around her. "What's your name, sweetheart?" For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she whispered, "Mia." "Hi, Mia. I'm Lily." She blinked at me. I tried to smile. "That's a pretty name." She looked down at her bare foot. I saw a cut near her ankle. It was not deep, but it was bleeding a little. My chest hurt. "Oh, honey." I picked her up. She was light. Too light. Her small arms went around my neck right away. "I'm going to get you warm," I said. "Then we'll find your family." She did not fight me. She just put her cold face against my neck and held on. The cafe where I worked was already closed, but I still had the back key. My boss, Mr. Allen, trusted me to lock up at night. I carried Mia there, opened the back door, and turned on the lights. The cafe smelled like coffee and bread. I put Mia in a chair near the heater. Then I found a towel and dried her hair. I gave her a cup of warm milk with honey. At first, she did not touch it. "It's okay," I said softly. "You don't have to drink it if you don't want to." She looked at me like she was trying to decide if I was safe. Then she took the cup with both hands. Her fingers were tiny. She drank a little. I found a first aid kit and cleaned the cut on her foot. She did not cry, but she held my sleeve the whole time. "You're very brave," I told her. She looked at me and said, "Mama says crying makes people weak." I stopped. No child should believe that. I put a small bandage on her ankle. "Sometimes crying just means your heart is full. It does not make you weak." Mia looked confused. "Do you cry?" she asked. I smiled a little. Sometimes. Are you weak? No, she thought about that. Then she said, Mama does not cry. Maybe she cries where no one can see. Mia shook her head. No, Mama is ice. I did not know what to say to that. I called the police, but before the call could go far, Mia grabbed my hand. No police, she whispered. I looked down at her. Mia, we have to find your mom. No police, she said again, and this time her voice shook. I ended the call before giving details. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have kept going. But the fear in her eyes made me stop. Okay, I said. Tell me your mama's name. Mia pressed her lips together. You won't be in trouble, I said. I promise. She looked at the door. Then she whispered, Valentina. My body went still. Everyone in the city knew that name. Valentina Moretti. People said it like they were afraid the walls could hear. She owned clubs, hotels, docks, and half the people in power. Some called her a businesswoman, some called her a queen, some called her worse things, but most people called her the most feared mafia boss in the city. I looked at the little girl in front of me. No, that could not be true. This sweet, shaking child could not belong to Valentina Moretti. But then the front windows of the cafe flashed with black car lights. One car stopped, then another, then another. Men in dark suits stepped out into the rain. My heart started to beat so hard I could hear it in my ears. Mia looked toward the door. Her small body went tight. Then the last car door opened. A woman stepped out. She wore a black coat. Her dark hair was tied back. Rain hit her shoulders, but she did not seem to care. She walked like the whole street belonged to her. Even through the glass, I felt her cold power. Mia jumped from the chair. Mama, she breathed. The door opened. The little bell above it gave one weak ring. Valentina Moretti stepped inside. The room felt smaller. Her eyes found Mia first. For 1 second, something wild crossed her face. Fear, pain, love. Then it was gone. Her face turned cold again. Mia, she said. Her voice was low. Mia ran to her, but then stopped halfway, like she was not sure she was allowed. Valentina took 2 fast steps and dropped to one knee. She pulled Mia into her arms. For the first time that night, Mia cried. Valentina held her tightly. Her hand shook once against Mia's back. Only once. Then she looked up at me. The cold came back. Who are you? She asked. I swallowed. My name is Lily Hart. I found her near the road. She was alone in the rain. Valentina stood, keeping Mia close to her side. You found her, she said. Yes. In the rain. Yes. Near the road. I nodded. Her eyes moved over me. My wet coat, my tired shoes, my shaking hands. I knew what she saw. A poor woman, a tired woman, a nobody. Her men stood behind her like shadows. One of them picked up my dropped bag from near the door. Another looked around the cafe. I lifted my chin. She was scared. I brought her here to warm up. I cleaned her foot, that's all. Valentina looked at Mia's bandage. Her jaw moved. Then she looked at me again. And you did not call the police? I started to, I said. She begged me not to. Valentina's eyes narrowed. I knew that was the wrong thing to say, but it was the truth. Mia pressed her face into her mother's coat. She helped me, Mama. Valentina did not look away from me. Did she? Yes, Mia said. She saved me from the car. One of the men looked at me. I could not read his face. Valentina walked closer. Do you know who I am? Yes, I said. My voice was smaller than I wanted. Then you know that people do not just find my daughter. I did not plan this. Everyone says that. I'm sure they do, I said. But I'm not everyone. Her eyes flashed. For a second, I thought I had made a terrible mistake. Then Mia tugged on her mother's hand. Mama, don't be mean. The room went silent. I almost forgot to breathe. No one spoke to Valentina Moretti that way. But Mia did. And Valentina did not punish her. She only looked down. Mia lifted her face. She gave me warm milk. Valentina's eyes softened for half a second. Then she looked back at me. How much do you want? I stared at her. What? Money. I don't want money. Her face went colder. Everyone wants money. I want to go home, I said. And I want her to be safe. For the first time, Valentina seemed unsure what to do with me. One of her men came closer and said softly, "Boss, the car is ready." Boss. The word made my stomach twist. Valentina took a card from her coat and placed it on the table. "If you speak of this night, you will regret it." I looked at the card. It had no name, only a phone number. "I don't want trouble," I said. "Good." She turned to leave. Mia pulled away from her. "No," Mia said. Valentina stopped. "Mia! No!" The little girl ran back to me and wrapped both arms around my waist. I froze. Valentina did too. "Mia!" she said again, softer this time. "I want Lily," Mia said. My heart cracked. Valentina's face did not change, but I saw something in her eyes. Pain, sharp and hidden. "You have me," she said. Mia shook her head. "I want Lily too." I knelt down. "Sweetheart, you have to go home with your mama." Mia held my coat harder. "Come too." "I can't." "Please." I looked at Valentina. Her face was stone, but her eyes were on her daughter's hands around me. "I have work tomorrow," I said gently, "and school, but you are safe now." Mia's lips shook. "You said you would not leave." "I said you were safe." "You are safe," she whispered. I did not understand. Then I did. She was not saying I had made her safe. She was saying I was safe. I was her safe person. After one night, after one cup of milk, after one bandage, my throat hurt. Valentina walked over and took Mia's hand. "We are going home." Mia cried harder. "No. Lily. Please." Valentina closed her eyes for 1 second. Then she looked at me. "Miss Hart," she said. "Get your things." I blinked. "What?" "You will ride with us." "No, I won't." One of the men took a step. Valentina lifted one hand and he stopped. She looked at me with cold calm. "My daughter will not calm down. She is shaking. She is cold. She trusts you. I do not know why, but for tonight, you will ride with us until she sleeps." "That sounds like kidnapping," I said before I could stop myself. A tiny smile touched Valentina's mouth. It was not warm. Kidnapping would not come with a choice. "Do I have one?" She looked at Mia. Mia's wet eyes were on me. I knew the answer before Valentina said it. "Yes," she said. "You have a choice." I looked at Mia. Then I picked up my bag. The drive to the Moretti house felt like a dream. Mia sat between her mother and me in the back seat. Her small hand held mine the whole way. Valentina sat straight, quiet and cold beside her. She looked out the window, but I felt her watching everything. The city changed as we drove. Small stores turned into tall gates. Wet streets turned into wide stone roads. Then we reached the mansion. It rose out of the rain like a dark castle. There were lights in the windows, guards at the gate, cameras near the walls. The door was so tall it made me feel like a child. Inside, the house was warm, but not soft. Everything was clean and rich. Black floors, white walls, gold lamps, big paintings, fresh flowers that looked too perfect to touch. A woman in a gray dress hurried toward us. "Thank God, Miss Mia." Mia hid behind me. The woman stopped, surprised. Valentina noticed. "Of course she did. This is Lily Hart," Valentina said. She helped Mia. The woman looked at me with kind eyes. "Thank you." I nodded. Valentina spoke again. "Get a bath ready, warm food, clean clothes. Call Dr. Vale," quietly. The woman left at once. Valentina looked at me. "You will stay until she sleeps." I wanted to say no, I really did. But Mia held my hand and pulled me toward the stairs. Her room was bigger than my whole apartment. There were toys, books, soft rugs, and a pink bed with a white cover. But the room still felt lonely. Too clean, too quiet. like no one played there unless they had permission. Mia would not let anyone else help her, so I sat outside the bathroom door while the kind woman, whose name was Mrs. Bell, gave Mia a bath. Every few seconds Mia called, "Lily? I'm here," I called back. "Still? Still." Valentina stood near the window in the hall. She did not sit, she did not speak. But she stayed. After the bath, Mia wore soft blue pajamas. Her hair was brushed. Her cheeks had some color again. The doctor checked her foot and said she was fine, only cold and scared. Then came dinner. Mia refused to eat. She sat at a small table in her room. Soup sat in front of her. Bread sat beside it. She looked at the bowl like it was a test. "Eat," Valentina said. Mia shook her head. "Mia. No. You need food. No." Valentina's hand closed around the back of a chair. I saw how tired she was, not in her face, not in her voice, but in the way her fingers held the chair too hard. I stepped forward. "May I try?" Valentina looked at me like I had asked to hold a knife to her heart. Then she moved aside. I sat across from Mia. "Do you like stories?" Mia nodded a little. "Okay. Every spoon of soup gets one line of a story." Mia looked at me. I picked up the spoon. "Once there was a tiny dragon who hated soup." Mia blinked. The dragon said, "Soup is not for dragons. Dragons eat stars." Mia took one spoon. I smiled. But the stars were too high, and the dragon was too small. Another spoon. So the dragon's friend made him magic soup. Every spoon made his wings stronger. Mia took another spoon. Valentina watched from the doorway. By the time the bowl was half empty, Mia's eyes were sleepy. By the time it was gone, she leaned against my arm. "More dragon," she whispered. "Tomorrow," I said. Her eyes opened. "You come tomorrow?" I looked at Valentina. Valentina said nothing. I looked back at Mia. "I have school tomorrow." Her face fell. Valentina's voice came from the door. "She can visit after." I turned. "What?" Valentina's face was cold. "My daughter asked." "That does not mean I work for you." "No," Valentina said. "Not yet." I did not like the way she said it. Mia yawned. "Lily stays?" "Until you sleep," Valentina said. Mia looked at me. "Promise?" I pushed her hair back. "I promise." She got into bed. I sat beside her. Her hand held my sleeve again. Valentina stood in the doorway. I started to hum. It was an old song my mother used to sing when I was little. I had not sung it in years. The words were soft and simple. Mia's eyes closed slowly. Her breath got even. Her hand fell open. I thought she was asleep. Then she whispered, "Safe." I did not move. Valentina did not move either. When Mia was fully asleep, I stood carefully. I turned and found Valentina watching me. Not like a boss, not like a threat, like someone who had seen a door open in a room she thought was locked forever. Then her face closed again. "Come," she said. She led me downstairs to a room with a long table and dark shelves. An office, her office. Two men stood inside. One was older, with gray hair. The other was younger and had sharp eyes. Valentina sat behind the desk. I stayed standing. She opened a file. Lily Hart, age 26, teacher at Brook Lane School, evening worker at Allen's Cafe. Parents dead. No debt except student loans and rent. No record. No known links to my enemies. I stared at her. "You checked all that already?" "Yes. That is not normal. Neither is finding my daughter in a storm." I crossed my arms. "I saved her." "So you say." "So she says." Valentina's eyes lifted. For 1 second I saw anger. Not at me. At the fact that her daughter trusted me more than she trusted the world Valentina had built around her. "You may go," she said. I let out a breath. The older man placed an envelope on the desk. Valentina pushed it toward me. "For your trouble." I did not touch it. "No, take it." "No, it is not a gift. It is payment. I do not want payment for helping a child." Her jaw tightened. People who refuse money often want something else. I want my bag and a ride home. The younger man made a quiet sound, almost like a laugh. Valentina's eyes moved to him. He went silent. Then she looked back at me. You are either very honest or very stupid. I have been called both. This time the corner of her mouth moved. Almost a smile. Almost. Then it was gone. She stood. Marco will drive you. I turned to leave. Miss Hart. I stopped. If my daughter asks for you tomorrow, you will come. I faced her. I have 2 jobs. I will pay more than both. That is not the point. It is always the point. Not with kids, I said. For the first time, Valentina did not answer right away. I took the card from my pocket and placed it on her desk. I don't belong in your world, Ms. Moretti. Her eyes stayed on mine. No, she said softly, you do not. Then I left. I thought that was the end. I was wrong. The next day, I was halfway through teaching spelling when the school office called me. The principal looked nervous, very nervous. There is someone here for you, she said. I walked to the front office and stopped. A black-suited man stood there, holding a small paper bag. The same young man from the office. He nodded. Miss Hart. My principal looked like she might faint. I stepped into the hall. What are you doing here? He held out the bag. Miss Mia asked me to bring this. I opened it. Inside was a drawing. It showed a small girl, a woman with yellow hair, and a tall dark woman. The 3 of us were standing under a blue sky. Over my head, Mia had written, Safe Lily. My throat tightened. There was also a note. It was written in neat adult handwriting. Mia has not eaten breakfast. She asks for you. VM. I closed my eyes. This was a bad idea. I knew it. Every smart part of me knew it. But after school, I went. I told myself it was only for Mia. I told myself I would stay 1 hour. I told myself many things that were not true. When I arrived at the mansion, Mia ran down the steps and crashed into me. You came! I hugged her. I said I would visit. You said school. School ended. She looked up at me with bright eyes. Now dragon? I laughed. Now dragon. For the next 2 hours, I sat in her playroom and told her the story of the tiny dragon. She ate apple slices. She drank water. She smiled. Every time she smiled, the house seemed less cold. Valentina watched from the hall. She thought I did not see her. I did. She stood in shadow, arms crossed, face unreadable. But her eyes followed Mia like Mia was the only soft thing left in her world. When I got ready to leave, Mia cried. Not loud, not spoiled, just scared. She held my hand and whispered, No rain. It's not raining today, I said. No road. My chest hurt. She remembered. I knelt. I'm safe. You're safe. Stay. I can visit again. Stay here. Valentina appeared behind her. Mia. Mia turned. Please, Mama. Valentina looked at me. I shook my head. I can't. Valentina said. 1 week. I blinked. What? 1 week. Temporary nanny. You will live here. Mia will calm. Then you may leave. No. Mia needs care. You have staff. She does not trust them. She trusts you. That is why I am asking. You are not asking. You are ordering. Valentina's eyes went hard. If I were ordering, you would know. Mia looked between us. I took a breath. I made my voice gentle. Mia, I have my own home. Her face crumbled. Valentina looked away. That was when I saw it. She was not only trying to control me. She was afraid. A woman like Valentina Moretti could control men with guns. She could control money. She could control a city. But she could not make her child feel safe, and that scared her more than any enemy. I should have walked away. Instead, I said, 1 week. Mia gasped. Really? 1 week, I said, and I keep my school job. Valentina looked at me. Done. And no one follows me at school. Her eyes moved to Marco. He looked away. I pointed at him. No one. Valentina said, Fine. And I am not part of your business. You will not be. And I can leave if I feel unsafe. Valentina's eyes stayed on mine for a long moment. Then she said, "No harm will come to you in my house." I did not know why, but I believed her. That evening, I went back to my tiny apartment and packed one small bag. I looked around my room before I left. The leaky roof, the broken closet, the small bed. I had spent so long trying to make that room feel like home, but it never had. The mansion did not feel like home either. It felt like a storm with walls. My room there was on the same floor as Mia's. It had a large bed, clean white curtains, and a bathroom bigger than my kitchen. There were fresh clothes in the closet. I touched one dress and frowned. Mrs. Bell smiled. Ms. Moretti had them brought in. I did not ask for clothes. She knows. That makes it worse. Mrs. Bell laughed softly. You are not afraid to say what you think. I am afraid, I said. I just say it anyway. Her smile faded into something kind. That may be what this house needs. That night, Mia had a nightmare. I woke to a small scream. I ran from my room and found her sitting up in bed. Her face was wet. She was trying not to cry, which somehow made it worse. Mia, I said, rushing to her. It's me. Lily is here. She threw herself into my arms. Car, she sobbed. Rain, I was lost. You're not lost now. You're in your room. I'm here. She shook hard. I held her and rocked her slowly. Breathe with me. In, out. Good girl. In, out. Her tiny hands clung to my shirt. I started to sing the old song again. Soft, low. The way my mother used to sing it. Mia's body slowly stopped shaking. I kept singing. After a while, I felt eyes on me. Valentina stood in the doorway. Her hair was down. She wore a black silk robe. Without her coat and hard shoes, she looked less like a boss and more like a tired mother who had not slept well in years. But her face was still guarded. I thought she would tell me to leave. She did not. She stood there and watched as I helped her child breathe. When Mia fell asleep again, she would not let go of my hand, so I sat on the floor beside her bed, my arm through the bars of the bed frame, my fingers held in hers. Valentina came closer. You can sleep in the chair, she said quietly. I'm fine. The floor is cold. I have slept in worse places. She looked at me. I wished I had not said that. After a long pause, she took a blanket from the end of the bed and placed it around my shoulders. Her fingers brushed mine. They were warm. I looked up. She looked down. For one strange second, the whole house was quiet. Then she stepped back. Thank you, she said. It was so soft I almost missed it. The next morning, she was cold again. At breakfast, she sat at the head of the table, reading papers. Mia sat beside me, happily eating pancakes because I had made them into bear shapes. Valentina watched her daughter take bite after bite. You cut them wrong, she said. I looked at her. Excuse me? The fruit. Strawberries should be smaller, Mia said. I like them big. Valentina looked at Mia. Mia took another bite. I hid a smile. Valentina saw it. Something funny, Miss Hart? No, you are lying. A little. Mia giggled. Valentina looked at her daughter like that giggle was something rare and bright. Then she went back to her papers. Over the next few days, I learned the rules of the house. Do not enter the West Wing. Do not ask questions about men who come late at night. Do not open locked doors. Do not answer unknown phone calls. Do not leave without a driver. Do not let Mia out of sight. I followed most of the rules, but I asked questions anyway. Why does Mia have no friends over? I asked one afternoon. Valentina was in the garden, standing near a rose bush. She did not look like the kind of woman who liked flowers, but she touched one red rose with care. It is not safe. For her, or for them. Her eyes moved to me. I should have looked away. I did not. Mia needs children, I said. She needs noise, mess, small fights over crayons. She needs to be normal sometimes. She is not normal. She is 6. She is my daughter. She is still 6. Valentina stepped closer. You have been in this house for 4 days, Miss Hart. Do not speak as if you know my life. I don't know your life. I know children. Her face was cold, but her eyes were tired. I lowered my voice. She is lonely. Something in Valentina's face broke for one tiny second. Then she turned away. You think I do not know that? I felt my anger fade. I think you know, I said. I think you just don't know what to do with it. She laughed once, but it had no joy. Careful. I am trying to help. I did not ask you to help me. No, I said. You asked me to help Mia. Valentina said nothing. That evening, she let me bring home books from my school. The next day, she let Mia draw in the garden. By the end of the week, she allowed Mrs. Bell's grandson to come play for 1 hour. Mia laughed so hard she got hiccups. Valentina watched from the window. I watched Valentina. She looked like a woman seeing sunlight after years in a locked room. The 1 week ended. I packed my bag. Mia sat on my bed, silent. You said 1 week, she whispered. I know. You leave now? I sat beside her. I don't want to hurt you. Then don't go. It's not that simple. Her eyes filled with tears. Why? Because your mother scares me. Because this house scares me. Because every time your mother looks at me, I feel like she sees too much. Because I am starting to care. I could not say any of that, so I said, because I have my own life. Mia looked at my bag. Is it better? I froze. What? Your life. Is it better than here? I did not know how to answer. Before I could, Valentina appeared at the open door. Mia ran to her. Mama, tell Lily to stay. Valentina's eyes met mine. I expected her to command me. I expected her to offer money again. Instead, she said, Mia, people do not belong to us just because we need them. The words surprised me. Maybe they surprised her too. Mia cried. But I love her. My heart stopped. Valentina closed her eyes. I sat there, unable to move. Mia said it again, softer. I love Lily. No one had said that to me in years. Not like that. Not with no reason. Not because I paid bills, or worked hard, or helped them. Just love. I opened my arms, and Mia ran into them. I love you too, I whispered. Valentina looked away. I stayed. Not for Valentina. That was what I told myself. I stayed for Mia. Valentina gave me a real contract. It said I was Mia's live-in nanny and private teacher. The pay was more than I had ever seen. I kept my school job for 2 weeks, then left because it became too hard to do both. I cried after I turned in my notice. I loved teaching. Valentina found me in the mansion library that night. I was sitting on the floor between shelves, wiping my eyes like a child. She stood there for a moment. Then she said, "Who hurt you?" I almost laughed. "No one." "You are crying." "I left my job." "The school?" I nodded. "You did not have to." "Yes, I did. Mia needs a steady person. I can't be half in and half out." Valentina's face changed a little. "You gave up something you loved for her. She is worth it." Her eyes stayed on me. Then she sat on the floor across from me. I stared. Valentina Moretti, queen of the city, sat on the floor in her own library, like she had forgotten how chairs worked. "You look shocked," she said. "You don't seem like a floor person." "I am not." "Then why are you on the floor?" She looked at my wet face. "You were alone down here." My chest grew warm. I looked away. "You don't have to be kind to me." "I am not kind. You just sat on the floor because I was sad." "That was strategy." I smiled. "Of course." She looked confused by my smile, like she did not know what to do with it. We sat in silence for a while. Then she said, "Mia's first nanny left after 2 months. The second was afraid of me. The third only wanted money. The fourth tried to sell pictures of the house." I looked at her. "After that," Valentina said, "I stopped trying." "That is why Mia was so alone?" Her jaw tightened. "Mia is protected. She is loved too." Valentina looked down. The silence felt heavy. I said softly, "She knows you love her." "Does she?" "Yes." "How?" "Because she watches for you." Valentina looked up. "She hears your steps," I said. "She knows when you pass her room." She keeps drawings she wants to show you. She saves the red candies because she says they are your favorite." Valentina was very still. "She loves you," I said. "She is just not sure how close she is allowed to get." The words hurt her, I saw it. For a moment, I wished I could take them back. But then she said, "My mother believed love made people weak. Mia told me something like that." Valentina gave a small, bitter smile. "I told myself I would be different." "You can still be different." "I do not know how." I looked at this woman everyone feared. And I saw the truth. She could run a city. She could make grown men lower their eyes. But she did not know how to hold her daughter when she cried. "You start small," I said. "What does that mean?" "Ask Mia about her day. Sit with her at dinner without papers. Tell her good night." "I do tell her good night." From the door. Valentina frowned. "You watch too much. You hide too little." For a second, I thought she would be angry. Then she almost smiled. Again. Almost. The next night, Valentina came to Mia's room at bedtime. Mia was already under the covers, waiting for my song. Valentina stood near the door. I gave her a look. She gave me a colder one. I lifted my eyebrows. She sighed like I had asked her to lift a car. Then she walked to Mia's bed. Mia stared up at her. "Mama?" Valentina sat on the edge of the bed. She looked very unsure. It was the most human I had ever seen her. "How was your day?" she asked. Mia blinked. Then her face lit up. "I painted a turtle. Lily said it looked like a potato, but a good potato." Valentina looked at me. I looked at the ceiling. Mia talked for 10 full minutes. About paint. About Mrs. Bell's cookies. About how Marco looked like a bear but did not growl right. About the tiny dragon story. Valentina listened. At first, she looked stiff. Then her shoulders dropped. When Mia yawned, Valentina touched her hair. "Good night, my star," she said. Mia froze. Then she smiled so wide I had to look away. After Valentina left, Mia whispered, "Mama called me Star." "She did. She used to call me that when I was little." "You are still little." Mia shook her head. "Not in this house." That night, I did not sleep much. I kept thinking about Valentina sitting on the bed. I kept thinking about her voice when she said, "My star." I kept thinking that ice could melt. And I was scared I was the warm thing too close to it. Weeks passed. Then months. The mansion changed. Not all at once. Small things. Mia's toys spread beyond her room. Crayons appeared in the breakfast room. Storybooks sat on the table near Valentina's papers. Mrs. Bell started laughing more. Marco learned to growl like a bear. The guards smiled when Mia gave them stickers. And Valentina came home earlier. Not every night, but some nights. She would stand in the doorway and watch me help Mia read. At first, she only watched. Then she sat. Then Mia asked her to read one page. Valentina read like she was giving orders to soldiers. Mia giggled and said, "Mama, the bunny is not in trouble." Valentina looked at the page. "He stole carrots. He is hungry. He should ask. He is a bunny. That is not an excuse." I laughed so hard I had to cover my mouth. Valentina looked at me. There it was again. That look. It was not cold. It was not soft either. It was something in between. Like she was trying to understand why my laugh made the room feel different. One afternoon, Mia fell asleep on the couch after playing in the garden. I sat beside her, reading a book. Valentina came in and stopped. Mia's head rested on my lap. My hand moved softly through her hair. Valentina's eyes went to that hand. "I can move," I whispered. "No," she said. She sat in the chair across from us. For a while she said nothing. Then she asked, "Do you miss your old life?" I thought about my tiny room, my school, the cafe, the tired walks home. "Yes," I said. "Parts of it." "Which parts?" My students. The feeling that I was doing something good. You do not feel that here? I looked down at Mia. I do, I said. But it is different. How? At school, I helped many children a little. Here, I help one child a lot. Valentina looked at Mia too. She is better. She is happier. Yes. You are better too, I said, before I could stop myself. Her eyes lifted. I felt my face warm. I mean, with her. You are better with her. Valentina leaned back. Careful, Miss Hart. That almost sounded like praise. It was. I do not know what to do with praise. Most people say thank you. She looked at me for a long moment, then she said, thank you. I smiled. She looked away first. That felt like a win. The first time Valentina protected me, it was not with guns or threats. It was with soup. I got sick one cold morning. Not badly, just a fever and sore throat. I tried to get up anyway. Mia needed breakfast. She had lessons. She had a doctor visit. But when I opened my door, Valentina was there. She looked me over once. Back to bed, she said. I'm fine. You are burning. It's just a fever. Bed. I have work. You work for me. Yes, and I am telling you I can work. She stepped closer. And I am telling you that you will rest. I crossed my arms. You are bossy. I am the boss. Not of my body. Something flashed in her eyes. Not anger. Respect, maybe. She took a slow breath. Please go back to bed. The word please sounded strange from her mouth. I was too tired to fight after that. I went back to bed. An hour later, Mrs. Bell brought soup. Behind her came Valentina, holding a tray with tea. I stared. Did you make that? No. Did you carry it? Yes. Should I clap? No. I smiled into my blanket. Valentina set the tea on my nightstand. Mia made you a card. She handed it to me. It showed me in bed with a red face. Mia had drawn herself, Valentina, and Marco around me. Above us, she had written, "We take care of safe Lily." My eyes filled. Valentina saw. She was worried, she said. I don't want her scared. She cares for you. I care for her too. Valentina's voice dropped. I know. The room went quiet. Then she said, "Do you have someone to call?" "For what?" "When you are sick." I looked at the card. No. Her face became unreadable. "No one?" she asked. "No one close." She looked angry. Not at me. At the world. "You should have someone," she said. I smiled sadly. Not everyone does. Valentina looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "You do now." My heart forgot how to beat. She seemed to realize what she had said. Her face closed. "I mean," she added, "you are responsible for my daughter. Your health matters." "Right," I said. But we both knew that was not all she meant. After that day, something changed. Valentina still acted cold around others. She still spoke like a queen. She still made people shake with one look. But with me, small cracks showed. She started asking if I had eaten. She sent a driver when it rained. She left books outside my door because she noticed what I liked to read. Once, when I fell asleep in the library, I woke with a blanket over me. Only one person in that house used a black cashmere blanket. I did not say anything, neither did she, but I folded it and placed it on her desk the next morning. Her fingers paused on it, then she said, "You snore." "I do not. You do. Mia says I sleep like a princess." "Mia loves you, she lies." I laughed. Valentina looked at me. Softly. Too softly. I had to look down. I was falling in love with her daughter. That was easy to understand. Mia was sunshine in a house of stone. She was sweet, funny, scared, brave, and full of love. Loving her felt like breathing. But her mother? Why was Valentina looking at me like I was hers too? That question sat in my chest for days. Then came the night of the red dress. Valentina had a business dinner at the mansion. Important people came, men in suits, women in diamonds. They filled the big dining room with soft lies and quiet fear. I was supposed to keep Mia upstairs, but Mia wanted to show Valentina a drawing before bed. I told her we could leave it outside the office. That was the plan. But when we reached the stairs, a man I did not know stepped into our path. He was tall and thin, with silver hair and a smile that made my skin crawl. "Well," he said, "this must be the famous Nanny." Mia moved behind me. I held her hand. "Good evening." His eyes moved over me in a way I hated. "Valentina keeps pretty staff now." I felt Mia's hand tighten. I kept my voice calm. "We are going upstairs." He stepped closer. "Are you?" Before I could answer, the air changed. Valentina appeared behind him. She wore a red dress. I had never seen her in red before. It made her look like fire wearing a human shape. The man turned. His smile faded. "Lorenzo," Valentina said. "Just his name, nothing more." But he stepped back. Valentina walked past him and stood beside me. Not in front of me, beside me. That mattered. "You are speaking to my daughter's caretaker," she said. "You will show respect." Lorenzo laughed nervously. "Of course. I only meant—" "I know what you meant." The room behind him had gone quiet. Valentina looked at him like he was already gone. "Leave," she said. His face went pale. "Valentina. Now." He left. No one stopped him. Valentina turned to Mia first. "Are you all right?" Mia nodded. "He was mean to Lily." "I know. Make him say sorry." A few people nearby stopped breathing. Valentina looked at me. I shook my head a tiny bit. "Not here. Not for me." Valentina understood. She looked back at Mia. "He will not speak to her again." Mia accepted that. Then she held up the drawing. "I made this." Valentina took it like it was a royal paper. "It is beautiful," she said. Mia beamed. When Mia went upstairs with Mrs. Bell, I stayed behind for a second. Valentina looked at me. "Did he touch you?" "No." "Did he scare you?" I wanted to say no, but Valentina hated lies. "A little," I said. Her eyes went dark. "Don't," I said quickly. "Don't what?" "Do whatever your face is planning." Her eyes moved to mine. For 1 second, the cold woman was gone. In her place was something fierce and warm. "He scared you in my house," she said. "I'm okay." "That is not the point." I swallowed. "What is the point?" Her voice was low. "No one makes you feel small here." My heart hit hard against my ribs. "Contract," said Nanny. But why did she protect me like family? Why did she look at me like I belonged next to her? Why did I want to stay there? The answer scared me. Because I did belong. At least, I wanted to. The next morning, I found flowers in my room. Not roses. Sunflowers. Bright, warm, and yellow. There was no note. I knew who sent them. I placed one in a vase in Mia's room. I placed one in the kitchen for Mrs. Bell. And I placed one on Valentina's desk. When she saw it, she looked at me. "Sunflowers," I said. "Yes." "They are not very you." "No. You seem more like black roses." Her mouth curved. A real smile this time, small, but real. "I thought you would like them," she said. "I do." "Then they are very me." I did not know what to say, so I left before my face could tell the truth. The truth was simple. I was falling for Valentina Moretti. Not the scary stories, not the power, not the danger, her. The mother who stood outside her daughter's door because she did not know if she was welcome inside. The woman who sat on the floor with me when I cried. The woman who did not know how to be soft, but tried anyway. The woman who looked at me like I was a problem she did not want to solve. For a while, our little world felt safe. Then Serena came back. I learned her name on a gray Monday morning. Valentina had been in her office all night. The house felt tight and quiet. Men came and went. Phones rang, doors closed. Mia felt it too. She sat close to me during lessons and kept asking, "Is Mama mad?" "No," I said. "I think she is worried." "Mama does not worry." "She does. She just hides it." Mia looked toward the door. "Bad people?" I did not want to lie, so I said, "Grown-up problems." Mia frowned. "That means yes." I sighed. "You are too smart." After lunch, Valentina called me to her office. I went in and found a woman sitting across from her desk. She was beautiful in a cold way. Blonde hair, red lips, white suit. She looked like glass with sharp edges. Her eyes moved over me. "So this is her," the woman said. Valentina's face was ice. "Leave, Serena." Serena smiled. "No hello for your ex-wife?" My stomach dropped. Ex-wife. I had known Valentina had been married before. I did not know to whom. Mia did not talk about another mother. No one in the house did. Serena stood and walked toward me. "You are younger than I thought," she said. I said nothing. Her smile grew. "Does Valentina pay you well?" Valentina stood. "Enough." Serena did not look away from me. "Be careful, darling. She collects people. Then she forgets they have hearts." Valentina's voice cut through the room. "Get out." Serena turned back to her. "The court date is set." Valentina went still. Serena smiled. "I told you I would come for what is mine." "She is not yours," Valentina said. Serena's eyes flashed. "She carries my name too. She has not seen you in 3 years. Because you made it hard. Because you left." The room went silent. Serena's smile shook. Then she fixed it. "I was young. I made mistakes. The court may understand that. But will they understand this house? These men? Your work? Your cold ways?" Valentina said nothing. Serena looked at me again. "And will they understand the nanny sleeping near your daughter's room like a guard dog?" My face burned. Valentina's hand closed into a fist. Serena laughed softly. "This will be fun." She left. The door closed. I stood there, frozen. Valentina turned away and placed both hands on her desk. "What does she want?" I asked. "Mia." "But she left?" "Yes." "Can she take her?" Valentina's back was stiff. "She can try." I took a step closer. "Valentina." She looked over her shoulder. It was the first time I had used her first name alone. Her eyes changed. I said, "What do you need?" She laughed once, cold and broken. "A different life." My chest hurt. That night, Mia had another nightmare. This one was worse. She cried for her mama. Valentina came running. Mia reached for her. For a second, Valentina froze, like she still did not trust herself with tears. Then she climbed onto the bed and held her daughter. "I'm here," she said. "My star, I'm here." Mia sobbed into her. I sat on the other side of the bed and rubbed Mia's back. For a while, the 3 of us stayed like that. Mia, between us, her hand in mine, her face against Valentina's chest. When she finally slept, I tried to move. Mia held me tighter. Valentina whispered, "Stay." So I did. I slept in the chair by Mia's bed. When I woke near dawn, Valentina was still there, sitting against the headboard, with Mia asleep against her. Her eyes were open. She looked at me. "You could leave," she said. I was half asleep. "What?" "Before this gets ugly." I sat up slowly. "Do you want me to leave?" "No." The answer came too fast, too honest. My heart warmed. "Then why say it?" I asked. "Because you should have the chance." I looked at Mia, then at Valentina. "I know what it feels like when people leave," I said. "I won't do that to her." Valentina looked down. "And me?" The words were so quiet. Maybe I was not meant to hear them. But I did. My breath caught. She looked away. "Forget I said that," she said. "I can't." Her eyes came back to mine. The room was soft with early light. Mia slept between us. I wanted to reach for Valentina's hand. I did not. Not yet. 2 days later, the lawyer came. His name was Mr. Hale. He had kind eyes and a tired face. He sat in the office with Valentina while I waited in the hall. I did not mean to listen, but the door was not fully closed. "Serena will use your life against you," he said. "She will say Mia has no stable home." "My home is stable," Valentina said. "It is guarded like a prison. To keep her safe." The court will not see it that way. What do they want? A clear family unit, school records, social proof, photos, events, people who can say Mia is cared for, loved, and part of a normal home. Valentina's voice was cold. Normal. I know. Do not say it like that. Valentina, I am on your side. Then win. I can help you. But you need more than power. A pause. Then Mr. Hale said, There are whispers. What whispers? About Miss Hart. My body went still. Valentina's voice turned deadly. Careful. I mean no insult. People have noticed her. Serena has noticed her. She will say Lily is paid staff. She will say Mia is attached to an employee, not family. She will say you cannot give your daughter love, so you bought someone who could. The words hit me hard. Inside, Valentina said nothing. Mr. Hale spoke again. But there is another way. What way? If Lily were not just the nanny— Silence. Then Valentina said, No. I have seen stranger arrangements help a case. No. It could be temporary, a public partnership, engagement, marriage if needed, a stable family image. No, she already lives here. Mia trusts her, she is educated, clean record, good work history, the child calls her safe. I said no. My heart pounded. I stepped back from the door. I went to Mia's room and tried to focus on her reading lesson, but the words on the page kept blurring. Fake wife. Stable family. Not just the nanny. That evening, Mia was quiet at dinner. She pushed peas around her plate. Valentina sat with us, but she barely ate. Mia looked up. Is that lady taking me? Valentina froze. No, she said. Serena? Valentina's face changed. Who told you that name? I heard Mrs. Bell. Valentina closed her eyes. Mia's voice shook. She said she is my other mama. The room went silent. Valentina put down her fork. She gave birth to you, yes. Did she love me? Valentina looked like the question hurt more than any knife. Yes, she said at last. In her own way. Why did she leave? I wanted to take Mia out of the room. I wanted to save Valentina from answering. But Mia deserved the truth, in a way she could understand. Valentina said, she was not ready to be a mother. Mia looked down. Are you ready? Valentina went very still. Then she stood and went to Mia's chair. She knelt in front of her. The whole room watched. Valentina took Mia's hands. I was scared, she said. I made mistakes. I still make mistakes. But I have loved you every day of your life. Mia's eyes filled. Valentina's voice broke just a little. Every day, my star. Mia threw her arms around her. Valentina held her tight. I turned away, giving them that moment. But then Mia reached one hand back for me. I went to them. She pulled me close too. For one breath, we were a family. Not by law, not by name, just by love. That was when Mia said the words that changed everything. But Mama has Lily, she whispered. Lily sleeps outside my room when I'm scared. Lily makes Mama smile. We are family. Valentina's eyes met mine over Mia's shoulder. Neither of us spoke. Later that night, Valentina came to my room. She knocked once. I opened the door. She stood there in a black shirt and dark pants, hair loose over one shoulder. She looked tired and scared. That scared me more than anything. May I come in? She asked. I stepped aside. She walked in but did not sit. I closed the door. For a moment, she just looked at the floor. Then she said, I need to ask something selfish. My heart started to race. Okay, I said. I will understand if you say no. That was new. Valentina Moretti did not give people room to say no. I crossed my arms because my hands were shaking. Ask. She looked at me. Marry me. The room went silent. I forgot how to breathe. What? Not for real, she said quickly. The words hurt. I hated that they hurt, she went on. On paper, in public, until the custody case is done. It would protect Mia. It would show the court she has a stable home. I stared at her. She looked calm, but I knew her now. Her left hand was tight, Her jaw was locked. Her eyes would not stay in one place. She was terrified. Mr. Hale suggested this, I said. Yes. You said no. Her eyes sharpened. You heard. The door was open. She looked away. I said no because it was unfair to you. And now? Now Serena is moving faster than we thought. She has people willing to lie. She will say Mia is unloved. She will say this house is cold. She will say you are paid to act like family. I am paid, I said softly. Valentina looked at me. But I do not act, I said. Her face changed. I saw the words land. She took one step closer. I know. My voice shook. Do you? Yes. She looked at me like she wanted to say more. Then she did. I know that you love her. I know that you wake when she cries. I know that you cut her fruit wrong because she likes it that way. I know that she laughs because of you. I know that this house breathes differently when you are in it. I could not move. Valentina's voice became lower. I know that I breathe differently when you are in it. My heart broke open. Valentina, I whispered. She closed her eyes for 1 second. Then the wall came back. It would be a contract, she said. You would have your own room, your own money, your own freedom. In public, you would be my wife. In private, nothing has to change. Nothing has to change. But everything already had. I looked toward the hall. Mia's room was not far. What happens if I say no? I asked. I fight another way. You won't force me. Her eyes flashed with pain. Never. I believed her. That was the problem. I trusted her now. Maybe I had trusted her before I was ready to admit it. I walked to the window. The garden was dark. Rain tapped softly against the glass. Rain had started all of this. One lost child. One cold mother. One tired woman who did not know she was lonely until someone held her hand and called her safe. I turned back. I have rules, I said. Valentina stood straighter. Name them. Mia cannot know it is fake. Valentina's face tightened. Lily, she is a child. I will not let her feel like a lie. What do you suggest? We tell her we are becoming a family. We do not promise things we cannot keep. We do not make her think love is a game. Valentina nodded slowly. Agreed. No using me like a prop. Agreed. No letting your world touch Mia more than it already has. Her face went cold, but she nodded. Agreed. And no lying to me. Valentina was quiet. I looked at her. That one matters. She took a slow breath. Agreed. I swallowed. Then yes. Her eyes lifted fast. I smiled sadly. For Mia, something like hurt passed over her face. Yes, she said. For Mia. But we both knew it was not only for Mia anymore. The wedding was small, too small for a woman like Valentina, too big for me. It happened in a private room in the courthouse. Mr. Hale stood as witness. Mrs. Bell cried into a tissue. Marco pretended not to. Mia wore a yellow dress and held a basket of white flowers. She was so happy she bounced on her toes. I wore a simple cream dress Valentina had chosen. It fit perfectly. Of course it did. Valentina wore a white suit. She looked calm. I knew she was not. When the judge asked us to hold hands, Valentina's fingers wrapped around mine. Her hand was warm, strong, careful. The judge spoke. I heard almost none of it. I only heard Mia whisper, Mama and Lily. Then came the words. Wife, wife. It was fake, on paper, for court, for Mia. But when Valentina looked at me and said, I do, my chest ached like it was real. When it was my turn, my voice almost broke. I do. Mia clapped. Mrs. Bell cried harder. Marco sniffed and blamed dust. Valentina did not kiss me. Of course she did not. Not in front of Mia. Not when it was fake. Instead, she lifted my hand and pressed her lips to my knuckles. Soft, slow, too real. Mia cheered. My face burned. Valentina's eyes stayed on mine. That was the first time I wondered if we were both lying about the same thing. After the wedding, the house changed again. My room moved, I argued. Valentina said. For appearances, I said. The court does not inspect bedrooms. She said. Staff talk, I said. Your staff loves Mia too much to hurt her. She said. Not all staff are ours. So my things were moved into a room connected to Valentina's by a sitting room. Not her bed. Not really. But close enough that everyone would believe. The first night, I stood in the sitting room, looking at the two doors. One led to my room, one led to hers. Valentina stood by the fireplace. This is only for show, she said. I know. You may lock your door. I know. I will not enter without permission. I know. She looked annoyed. You keep saying that. Because I believe you. Her face went still. I turned to my door. Lily. I stopped. She rarely said my name without miss now. It sounded different. Close. Yes? She looked at me for a long moment. Thank you. I smiled. You already said that once. Be careful. It may become a habit. A small smile touched her face. Good night, wife, she said. My heart dropped to the floor. She seemed to realize what she had said. Her eyes widened just a little. Then she turned and went into her room. I stood there alone, pressing a hand to my chest. Contract, said Nanny. Court said wife. My heart said danger. The next weeks were a blur of photos, meetings, and practice. Mr. Hale asked us questions that the court might ask. How did you meet? In the rain, Valentina said. I looked at her. That sounds too strange. It is true. Truth can still sound like a lie. Valentina leaned back. Then you answer. I said. I met Mia first. Then I met Valentina. Mr. Hale nodded. That is good. Simple. How did your relationship change? He asked. I froze. Valentina looked at me. I looked down at my hands. Slowly. Mr. Hale waited. I said, at first I was there for Mia. Then I saw how much Valentina loved her, even when she did not know how to show it. And I saw her try. That mattered. The room became quiet. Valentina did not move. Mr. Hale wrote something down. Then he asked Valentina, and you? Valentina looked at me. Her voice was low. Lily taught my daughter to feel safe. Then she taught me that safety is not the same as control. I looked up. She held my eyes. And she stayed, Valentina said. That is not something I take lightly. Mr. Hale stopped writing. He cleared his throat. Good. I looked away because my eyes were wet. Mia loved the new story. She loved telling everyone that Mama and Lily were married. At breakfast, she made us sit together. At bedtime, she wanted both of us to tell stories. One night, she asked, does this mean Lily is my mama too? The room froze. Valentina looked at me. I looked at Mia. My heart hurt with how much I wanted to say yes, but I would not take a name that Mia was not ready to give. So I said, it means I love you, and I am here. Mia thought about that. Can I call you Mama Lily sometimes? Valentina's hand went still on the blanket. I could not breathe. If you want, I whispered. Mia smiled. Okay, Mama Lily, sing. I sang with tears in my throat. Valentina sat beside us, silent. After Mia slept, I walked to the hall and wiped my face. Valentina followed. I'm sorry, she said. I turned. For what? That must have been hard. It was beautiful. It hurt you. Beautiful things can hurt. She looked at me like she understood that too well. Then she reached out, slowly, giving me time to move away. I did not. Her fingers touched my cheek and wiped one tear. My eyes closed. Her hand stayed there, just for a second. Then she pulled back. Good night, Lily, she said. No miss. No wife. Just Lily. And somehow, that was the most dangerous name of all. Serena did not stay quiet. Photos appeared online. Old stories about Valentina came back. People whispered that the marriage was fake. People said I was a poor nanny who had been bought. People said Mia was being used. I stopped looking at my phone. Valentina noticed. Of course she did. One afternoon, she found me in the garden, sitting alone on the bench near the roses. "You are hiding," she said. "I am resting." "You are hiding." I sighed. "Fine. I am hiding." She sat beside me. For a while, neither of us spoke. Then I said, "They call me a gold digger." Valentina's face went cold. "They say I trapped you," I added. "That is foolish." "Because no one traps you?" "Because you refused my money 3 times. I smiled a little. Then it faded. "They say I am just the nanny." Her voice was sharp. "You are not just anything." I looked at her. She seemed angry, not at me, at every person who did not see what she saw. "What am I then?" I asked. The question came out too soft, too real. Valentina looked at me. The garden was quiet. Her eyes moved over my face, then to my mouth, then back to my eyes. "You are," she started. A phone rang inside. The moment broke. She stood, jaw tight. "I have to take that." "Of course." But before she left, she looked back. "You are not just the nanny," she said. Then she went inside. I sat there for a long time. I wanted to know the rest. Maybe I was afraid of it too. The custody hearing came 2 weeks later. The courtroom smelled like old wood and paper. Serena sat on one side with her lawyers. She wore pale blue and soft pearls, like a perfect mother from a magazine. She smiled at Mia from across the room. Mia moved closer to me. Valentina saw. Her hand found mine under the table. It was the first time she reached for me in public without needing to. I held on. The judge asked questions. Mr. Hale spoke. Serena's lawyer spoke too. He made Valentina sound like a monster. He made the mansion sound like a prison. He made me sound like a worker paid to play house. "Miss Hart was hired as a nanny," he said. "Mrs. Moretti," Mr. Hale corrected. The lawyer smiled. "Of course, Mrs. Moretti. But she was first hired as a nanny, correct?" I sat straight. "Yes." "And she was paid?" "Yes." "So her bond with the child began as a job." I looked at Mia. She was watching me with scared eyes. I turned back to the lawyer. "No." The lawyer lifted his eyebrows. "No? My place in the house began as a job. My bond with Mia began before that. It began the night I found her in the rain. The room was quiet. She was cold," I said. "She was scared. She held my hand. I kept holding it. That was not a job." The lawyer's smile got thin. "But you benefit from this marriage, do you not?" "I gained a family." Valentina's hand tightened around mine. The lawyer looked pleased, like he had trapped me. "And money." "I had money in the contract before the marriage." "And status." I almost laughed. "Do you think being hated by half the city is status?" A few people made quiet sounds. The judge looked at me over her glasses. I lowered my voice. "I did not marry Valentina for status." "Then why?" I looked at Valentina. She looked back at me. The safe answer was for Mia. The fake answer. The easy answer. But I was tired of lies. "I married her because this is where my heart was," I said. Valentina stopped breathing. I looked at the judge. "Mia is my heart. And so is her mother." Serena's smile disappeared. The lawyer moved on fast after that. Valentina was called next. I had seen her face down powerful people without blinking, but when she sat in that chair, I saw her hands grip each other. The lawyer tried to make her cold. "Is it true that your daughter was raised mostly by staff?" "No." "Is it true that you often work late nights?" "Yes." "Is it true that your home has armed guards?" "Yes." "Is it true that Miss Hart was hired because your own daughter would not eat without her?" Valentina's jaw tightened. "Yes." "So you admit that a stranger gave your child more comfort than you could?" The words hit like a slap. I wanted to stand. Mr. Hale objected. The judge warned the lawyer. But Valentina answered anyway. "Yes," she said. The room went still. The lawyer blinked. Valentina looked at the judge, not him. "Yes," she repeated. "At that time, my daughter found comfort in Lily faster than she found it in me. That was painful. But it was also a gift." My eyes burned. Valentina's voice stayed steady. I had spent years thinking love meant control. I thought if I kept Mia safe, that was enough. It was not. Lily showed me that my daughter needed warmth too. She showed me that I could be more than feared. She did not take my place. She helped me find it. No one spoke. Valentina looked at Mia. I am not a perfect mother, she said, but I love my daughter. I learn for her. I change for her. And I will spend the rest of my life making sure she never doubts that again. Mia cried quietly. I put my arm around her. The judge watched us for a long moment. Serena was called too. She cried at the right times. She said she had changed. Maybe she had. Maybe part of her did love Mia. But when the judge asked what Mia liked for breakfast, Serena did not know. When asked what song helped Mia sleep, she did not know. When asked the name of Mia's favorite toy dragon, she did not know. Valentina knew. I knew. Mia knew we knew. That mattered. The court did not end that day. There would be another meeting, another visit, more papers. But Mr. Hale said it went well. That night, the house was quiet with tired hope. Mia fell asleep between us during story time, one hand on Valentina's sleeve and one hand on mine. Valentina looked over Mia's head. What you said in court, she whispered. My heart jumped. I looked down. I meant it. Her eyes searched my face. So did I, she said. Neither of us moved. Mia slept between us like a tiny wall and a tiny bridge. Then Valentina reached over and took my hand. We stayed that way until morning. After that, pretending became harder. The fake wife role had rules. Smile at events, hold hands when people watched, stand close in photos, say sweet things when needed. But real feelings had no rules. They came in small ways. Valentina remembered how I took my tea. I learned that she hated sweet cake, but ate it if Mia made it. She learned that I rubbed my wrist when nervous. I learned that she walked in the garden when she could not sleep. Sometimes I joined her. We would walk under the moon, side by side, no guards close enough to hear, no Mia between us, just us. One night, she said, I was married before, but I do not think I was ever a wife. I looked at her. What do you mean? Serena and I were fire. It burned bright and fast. Then it burned everything. I'm sorry. I am not. It gave me Mia. I nodded. Valentina looked at the roses. But with you, I feel... She stopped. Feel what? I asked. Quiet. I smiled a little. That sounds boring. No, she said. It sounds safe. My heart softened. I feel safe with you too, I said. She looked at me like those words meant more than love. Maybe to her they did. The next morning, everything broke again. Serena requested a home visit. She wanted to come to the mansion with a court worker and see Mia there. Valentina was furious. No, she said. Mr. Hale spoke through the phone. If you refuse, it looks bad. She does not come into my home. She already has the court's approval. I stood in the office doorway, listening. Valentina looked ready to break the phone in her hand. After the call ended, she turned to me. Take Mia out that day. No. Her eyes flashed. Lily. No. Running makes us look scared. I am not letting Serena upset her. We cannot hide Mia forever. I can. No, you can't. Valentina stepped close. Do not test me today. I lowered my voice. I am on your side. Then listen. I am listening. You are scared. Her face went still. I touched her arm. I know. But Mia needs to see that this house is hers. Not Serena's. Not the court's. Hers. Valentina looked at my hand on her arm. She did not move away. I hate this, she said. I know. I hate feeling helpless. I know. Her voice dropped. I hate that you see me feeling helpless. I looked up at her. I don't love you less for it. The words left my mouth before I could stop them. Valentina froze. I froze too. There it was. Not hidden. Not wrapped in court words. Not for Mia. I love you. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Valentina stared at me. Her eyes were wide in a way I had never seen. Soft, afraid, full. I stepped back. I should check on Mia. I turned fast, but she caught my wrist. Not hard, never hard. Lily. I looked at her hand, then at her. She swallowed. Valentina Moretti, who made the city bow, could not say 3 words, but her eyes did. She lifted my hand and pressed it to her chest. Her heart was racing. I do not know how to do this, she whispered. Neither do I. I am afraid I will hurt you. You might. Pain crossed her face. I stepped closer. And I might hurt you. That is what happens when people matter. Her hand moved to my cheek. I closed my eyes. This time, when she leaned in, there was no Mia, no court, no camera, no lie, only us. Her lips touched mine softly, like a question, like a promise she was afraid to make. I kissed her back, and the house, the danger, the whole city, all of it went quiet. When we pulled apart, she rested her forehead against mine. I love you, she said. The words were rough, like they had fought their way out. I smiled with tears in my eyes. I know. She frowned a little. You know? You are not as hard to read as you think. I am very hard to read. You send sunflowers. A small laugh left her. I kissed her again. Then Mia yelled from the hall. Mama? Mama Lily? Are you fighting? We jumped apart. Valentina looked toward the door. No, my star. Mia walked in holding her dragon toy. She looked at us. Then she smiled very slowly. Were you kissing? I covered my face. Valentina looked like she wanted to face 10 enemies instead. Mia gasped. You were, Valentina said. Mia. Mia danced in place. I knew it. Mrs. Bell owes Marco money. I stared. What? Valentina closed her eyes. I am firing everyone. Mia giggled and ran away. For the first time in my life, I laughed until I cried in a Mafia boss's office. The home visit came 3 days later. Serena arrived in a white car with a court worker named Ms. Dean. Serena smiled like she had never hurt anyone. Mia stood between Valentina and me at the top of the steps. Her hand held mine. Valentina's hand rested gently on her shoulder. Serena looked at us, and something bitter flashed in her eyes. Hello, Mia, she said. Mia pressed closer to me. Hello. Serena's smile shook. You've grown. Mia nodded. Ms. Dean was kind. She asked to see Mia's room, her school area, the garden, the kitchen. She watched everything. She wrote notes. Mia showed her paintings. She showed her books. She showed her dragon toy. Then Ms. Dean asked, Who takes care of you here? Mia looked confused, like the answer was too easy. Mama, she said, pointing to Valentina. Then she pointed to me. And Mama Lily. Serena's face hardened. Ms. Dean smiled. And do you feel safe here? Mia nodded. Yes. What makes you feel safe? Mia thought about it. Then she said, Mama checks the doors. Mama Lily checks my dreams. My eyes burned. Valentina looked away. Even Ms. Dean had to blink fast. Serena crossed her arms. That is sweet, but children can be trained to say things. Mia looked at her. I felt Valentina go cold beside me, but Mia spoke first. I am not a dog, she said. Mrs. Bell made a sound in the hall. I bit my lip. Valentina looked proud. Serena turned red. Ms. Dean wrote something down. The visit ended better than we feared. Serena did not win Mia's heart with gifts. She tried. She gave Mia a doll in a gold box. Mia said thank you, then asked if she could show Mama Lily her spelling words. Serena looked at me with hate. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. That night, Valentina came to my room. Not the sitting room. My room. She knocked. I opened. She stood there, nervous in her own quiet way. Mia is asleep, she said. Okay. Mrs. Bell is off for the night. Okay. Marco is not outside the door. I smiled. Okay. She looked annoyed. Are you going to make me say it? Yes. Her eyes narrowed. I waited. She took a breath. May I come in? Because I want to kiss my wife. My heart warmed all the way through. I stepped aside. Yes. This time, when she kissed me, it did not feel like a question. It felt like coming home. We moved slowly, carefully. There was no rush, no need to prove anything. We sat on my bed and talked for hours. About our mothers, about fear, about Mia, about the first night. I thought you had planned it, Valentina said. I know. I am sorry. You were scared. I was cruel. A little. She winced. I touched her hand. You got better. You made me better. No, I said. You chose to be better. She looked at our hands. Then she said, when Mia called you safe, I was jealous. I laughed softly. Of me? Yes. Because she trusted me? Because I wanted to be that for her. You are. Now. Then be thankful I came with warm milk. Valentina smiled. I am thankful for many things about you. My face warmed. Outside, rain began to fall. We both heard it. She looked toward the window. I did too. Rain no longer sounded like fear. It sounded like the night my life began again. Weeks later, the court gave its decision. Valentina kept full custody. Serena would have short visits only if Mia agreed, and a court worker was there. When Mr. Hale read the news in the office, Mia did not understand all the words, but she understood enough. I stay? She asked. Valentina knelt in front of her. You stay. With you? Always. With Mama Lily? I looked at Valentina. Valentina looked at me. Then she smiled. With Mama Lily, she said. Mia screamed with joy and jumped into our arms. We fell back onto the carpet, laughing. Valentina Moretti lay on the floor in her office, her daughter on her chest, her wife beside her, and for once, she did not look like a queen. She looked happy. I thought that was the end of our troubles. But stories like ours never end that easily. Serena was angry, too angry to be quiet. A month after the court decision, there was a charity gala at one of Valentina's hotels. It was important for her public image. Families would be there. Judges, business owners, reporters, people who wanted to see if the Moretti house was truly changed. Mr. Hale said it would help. Valentina hated it. Mia loved it because she got a new dress. I hated it because I had to wear heels. Valentina chose my dress. Dark green, simple, beautiful. When I came out, Mia clapped. Mama Lily looks like a princess. Valentina looked at me and said nothing. That made my face hotter than any words could. What? I asked. Her eyes moved slowly over me. Careful, she said. With what? Looking like that in front of people I do not like. Mia made a gagging sound. Grown-ups are weird. I laughed. Valentina smiled at Mia, then looked back at me. You are beautiful, she said softly. I forgot how to speak. The gala was bright and loud. Music played, cameras flashed, people smiled with teeth and lied with their eyes. Valentina moved through the room like a storm in a silk suit. One hand stayed at my lower back. Not for show, not fully. For her, for me. To say, I am here. Mia stayed with Mrs. Bell in a children's room upstairs for most of the evening, safe and happy with games and cake. I tried to relax. But then I saw Serena. She stood near the far wall in a silver dress, watching us. My stomach turned. Valentina saw my face. What is it? Serena. Her hand tightened at my back. Stay with me. I was planning to. For an hour, Serena did nothing. Then she waited until Valentina was pulled into a talk with a judge and Mr. Hale. I stood near the drink table, alone for only a moment. Serena appeared beside me. Enjoying my life? She asked. I looked at her. I am not doing this here. She smiled. Of course not. You like to look clean. I started to walk away. She stepped with me. Tell me, does she still pay you? Or did the ring come with a better deal? I stopped. People nearby began to listen. Serena's voice grew louder. You can dress her up, Valentina. she called across the space, but she is still a paid nanny. The room went quiet. My face burned. Valentina turned. Serena smiled like she had won. She was hired help, Serena said. A cafe girl. A teacher with no money. A stranger who got lucky when a lost child grabbed her hand. And now we are all supposed to clap because the great Valentina Moretti married the nanny? Whispers moved through the room. My hands shook. Not because I was ashamed of being a nanny, never that. I was ashamed that, for one terrible second, part of me feared she was right. Maybe I had stepped into a world too big for me. Maybe people would always see me as the poor woman who was allowed in. Maybe love did not change the name they gave me. Then Valentina walked toward us. The crowd parted. She did not rush. She did not shout. She came to stand beside me, not in front. Beside. Just like she had the first time she protected me. Her face was calm. That was how I knew she was furious. Serena tilted her chin. Are you going to deny it? Valentina looked at her. No. A few people gasped. My heart dropped. Valentina took my hand. She was the nanny, she said. Serena smiled. Then Valentina turned to the room. She was the woman my daughter trusted when the world scared her. She was the woman who stayed awake on cold floors so my child could sleep. She was the woman who taught Mia that crying did not make her weak. Her voice carried through the hall. No one moved. Valentina's hand held mine tighter. She was also the woman who looked at me, saw every broken part I tried to hide, and did not run. My eyes filled. Valentina looked at me now. Only me. She was never the nanny. She is the woman who taught this house how to feel again. The room was silent. Serena's face went pale. Valentina lifted my hand and kissed my ring. Then she said, loud enough for everyone, she is my wife, my family, my home, and anyone who speaks of her as less will answer to me. My heart shook, but it was not fear. It was love. The whole room seemed to breathe again. Someone started clapping, then another, then more. I did not care. I only saw Valentina, the cold woman who had once accused me of planning to hurt her child, the mother who did not know how to say please, the wife who now stood in front of the whole city and called me home. Serena left. No one followed her. Valentina touched my cheek. Are you all right? I laughed through tears. You made a scene. I make good scenes. You threatened half the room. I was clear. You called me your home. Her face softened. You are, she said. I kissed her. Right there, in front of everyone. Gasps filled the room. Valentina smiled against my lips. Then Mia's voice shouted from the stairs. I knew it! We pulled apart. Mia was at the top of the stairs in her party dress, Mrs. Bell rushing behind her. Mia ran down and threw herself into us. Did Mama do a big scary speech? She asked. I laughed. Yes. Mia looked proud. Good. Valentina picked her up. You were supposed to be upstairs. I heard clapping. That does not explain why you came down. I wanted cake. Valentina looked at me. She gets that from you. I do like cake. Mia put one arm around Valentina and one around me. Can we go home now? Home. Not the mansion. Not the big house. Home. Valentina looked at me. I nodded. Yes, she said. We can go home. That night, after the gala, we sat in Mia's room in fancy clothes with shoes kicked off on the floor. Mia ate cake in bed, which Valentina said was against every rule. Then she allowed it anyway. I told the tiny dragon story one more time. In the story, the dragon had finally grown strong wings. He did not need magic soup anymore, but he still ate it because it reminded him of the friend who stayed when he was small. Mia fell asleep before the end. Valentina and I sat beside her. For a long time, neither of us spoke. Then Valentina said, I want to make it real. I looked at her. She looked at our rings. The marriage, she said. I know it is already legal, but I mean us. No more contract. No more because of court. No more pretending. My heart beat fast. I thought we stopped pretending a while ago. I said. We did. But I want you to choose again. I looked at Mia, then at Valentina. I choose you, I said. Her eyes shone. I choose Mia. I choose this house, even with the guards and the locked doors, and Marco growling like a bear. I choose Mrs. Bell's cookies. I choose the garden. I choose rainy nights if they brought me here. I choose all of it. Valentina took my hand. Her voice was soft. I choose you too. Then she looked at Mia. And I choose to be better every day. I leaned my head on her shoulder. She kissed my hair. Outside, rain touched the windows. But inside, it was warm. The city still feared Valentina Moretti. Maybe it always would. People still whispered her name. Men still lowered their eyes when she passed. Doors still opened for her before she touched them. But I knew the truth. The most dangerous woman in the city cut strawberries too big because her daughter liked them that way. She kept sunflowers on her desk because I smiled at them. She sang badly at bedtime because Mia asked her to. She held me when thunder woke old fears in my chest. She learned that love was not weakness. It was the only thing strong enough to save us. Sometimes I think about that first night. I think about the rain, the road, the small girl with one missing shoe. I think about how close I came to walking the other way because I was tired. But I stopped. I heard her cry, and I stopped. That one choice gave me everything. One day, years from now, Mia may ask me when I became her mother. I will tell her the truth, not at the wedding, not in court, not at the gala. I became hers the first time her little hand held mine and trusted me not to let go. And Valentina? I became hers slowly, in doorways, in quiet rooms, in shared worry, in soup when I was sick, in sunflowers with no note. In the way she learned to say please, in the way she let me see her fear, in the way she stood beside me, not in front of me, and told the world I was not less. I had only saved a lost child from the rain. I did not know her mother would become my wife. I did not know a cold house could learn to laugh. I did not know a little girl could give me a name that felt like a blessing. Mama Lily. That is who I became. Not just a nanny, not just a wife on paper. I became family. And in the end, Valentina did not just protect me from the world. She gave me a daughter, a home, and a last name.